Hello? Senator? You are you? Yes, sir. Hi, Manny. Sean, why don't you sit with you? Welcome back. What is it?
Manny, did you see Keith's shirt? My colleague here asked him about his shirt. He said, game over. He asked him if that was for you, and he said, of course it is.
I don't know.
He said the Pac-Man game is over. Yeah.
I like that.
Maddie, what do you think that you were the underdog leading up to, in the fight, but now you're like the favorite? What do you think about that?
I want to thank the fans for...
Guys! Working press, quiet please.
I want to thank the fans for trusting me. I think it's because of my hard work, the way I prepared for this fight. I'm more motivated for this fight. So this is different.
Manny, after the Mayweather fight, you had a couple, lackluster performances. Jesse Vargas and Jeff Horn, they weren't your normal classic performances. What do you attribute that to? And how did you kind of get out of that little funk that you were in and get back to where you are now after beating Thurman?
I think it's just adjustment of the training. At this age, I discover how you prepare for being at this age. That's because I'm a kind of a boxer that I'm studying what my body's reaction when at this age, and like that, the way how you work hard, the way you train. First of all, for me, boxing is not just a training, it's not just for a workout, but boxing is about hard work. When you talk about hard work, you punish yourself all the time, every day at the gym. And hard work, and also study your body, how you get recover overnight. Sometimes what I discovered when I was young, I pushed like I did 33 rounds, 30 rounds every day, at overnight, just overnight, and then you will recover the next day. But at this age, I can say that when I push myself, like doing 30 rounds, 33 rounds in a day workout, sometimes overnight is not enough for body recovery. So the body is telling me, oh, I need more time to recover, and then we can push again.
Is that why you took more days off this camp, and it seems like you've taken off in a long time?
That's right. And that's what I did. Since starting Crucify, Broner, until now, that's what I discovered in boxing. But I'm not saying that you're going to be lazy in training. But when talking about hard work, focus, and if I'm talking about hard work, this is not like just training or simple training. It's hard work.
Was that something you came to stay active at 40? Because even though he's the younger fighter, you're the more active fighter.
Yeah.
Manny, you have one knockout in your last 10 years or so. There was talk of maybe, as you got deeper into your religion, that you lost your killer instinct, that you didn't want to hurt your opponent as much. You just wanted to win the fights. Has that killer instinct come back? If you have Keith Thurman hurt, are you going to go for the finish? And can Freddie attest to whether your killer instinct is returned also?
I think my team, coaching staff, they're very happy because, like I said, it's been a long time that I get motivated like this in my career. So this one is kind of I'm happy, enjoying, and doing this, especially in training. That's why I don't care if I'm overtrained in training, but good thing for the coaching staff. They watching me, not to train hard, not to overtrain. They stopped me when they saw that it's over. You know, too much.
What fights of Thurman have you watched that you were impressed by what you saw?
I think the Garcia fight.
What did he do in that fight? Was it his heart in coming back late in the fight, or what was it that impressed you?
I think I mean, Garcia in me is different, so I saw a couple of weaknesses in there, but I will not.
Did you see his fight with Sean Porter?
Sean Porter, no.
How about his last one against Lopez? Supposed to see the Lopez had him hurt.
No, I heard about that, but I didn't watch it.
He knows what he can do.
So you haven't watched too many
You
Thurman
don't have to
fights?
worry about it. He knows what he can do. So you
Pacquiao, what do you make of Keith Thurman say
I
that?
don't want to watch that last fight because if I'm going to watch that one and then become, I'm going to underestimate him.
What do you make of Keith Thurman saying he was inspired by your performance against Broner?
He's inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he went after you beat up on Broner last time, and you
inspired him.
to train harder.
City
He went to run at 1:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning in the rain.
He was impressed by your
He
performance.
has to work hard.
Manny, what do you Keith's a fighter with really good movement? How do you deal with his movement, and is it important for you to get him
I'm
on the
not worried
ropes?
about his movement. I believe that I'm faster than him. I can move side by side. I can box him, but I don't think if he's ready for aggressive and more body shot like that. That's
How do you feel that his height and reach advantage is going to play effect into the fight?
oh, that's better for me because if your focus is a body shot, then it's a good advantage because he's taller than you. He's taller than me. So.
Man, what do you take to say at this stage of your career, you've been looking for a challenge like this to motivate you? Like that you like lack of motivation, but you kind of looking for this mega fight
Yeah,
like
I mean
this?
that's good. That's good. I mean, happy with my opponents motivating me.
Historically, there haven't been a lot of 40-year-old or older fighters beating undefeated world champions. So what would this win mean for your overall legacy? I mean, considering you already have one of the best legacies in
It
boxing.
means a lot. It means a lot. Being 40 years old, then you can be undefeated, and also to show that at age of 40 I can still fight. And this is gonna be add to my resume.
Would you rank this as one of your more important wins in your career?
Yeah. I did. I consider this fight is one of the most important fight in my career because at age of 40 I want to prove something, and then also my opponent he's very good at talking.
Let me ask you, how would you rate it for his legacy if he wins this fight?
Probably behind the Cotto and Ricky Hatton wins, probably up there with those. Barrera above the first Barrera win.
Manny, do you expect Thurman to trade with you a lot? He moves a lot, obviously, in his fights. Do you expect him to stand and fight with you, or do you expect to have to chase him around?
Yeah,
He said he wants to trade with you.
it's good. It's good
He's
because I'm
projected.
small. It's big, so it's good for him.
Manny, do you believe him? Manny, do you believe him though? Do you believe he'll actually want to trade with you?
I don't think so.
Manny, Freddie's projected that Keith will be 160 to 165 pounds. Is that? I mean, does that increase the risk when you do step inside with the power that you
I'm
can
worried
overcome?
about it. I'm a fighter, so my focus is to fight.
You talked about when you fought Margarito, who was a bigger guy, that you felt those punches for days afterwards. Keith Thurman might be as big as Margarito was when you fight him. How does that fight with Margarito feel like good preparation for being in with a big guy like this?
That's good for me if he gain more weight because it's gonna be slow at my advantage for speed is one of the key in boxing. When you have speed, you can do whatever you want to do.
What is more important for you, your foot speed in creating the angles to throw punches, or your hand speed, how fast you get them off?
Both are coordinated. Foot speed and hand speed should be coordinated.
Manny, what do you think of Pernell Whitaker passing away? He was the same height as you, won a lot of the titles, the same southpaw just like you. What do you think of Pernell, and how would that fight have went between you two?
Pernell Whitaker, in fact, if you believe me, before when I started boxing, I was young, I was 13, 15 years old like that, watching him fight, and especially the very good fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. It's a good fight. I saw him, I watched him even in the Olympics.
Back home in the Philippines?
Yeah, back home in the Philippines.
How old were you then? I mean, you were like 8 years old or something.
I was 10, like that, 10, 9 years old.
Who would have won in your primes?
He's fast, he's fast. He's a,
Good fight.
Freddie, who would have won?
that's a footwork.
Speed and power. Speed against power.
Have you noticed the killer instinct that being back? Because I remember you talking about you were kind of concerned about it years ago.
He's a little more angry. It's like this point for talking so much, but I think we've had our best training camp in like for the last 5 or 6 fights. This training camp has been very good, and he's in great shape, and we're ready to go.
So if he has Keith Thurman hurt, you don't have any concerns that he's not going to go in for the kill? And
No, I think he will go for the kill, yes.
Manny, is there any one particular thing that Keith Thurman has said that has really bothered you more than other things that he said?
Sometimes I think the one that give me more, inspired me, is motivate me, is the one he said that he's going to crucify me.
He's going to what?
Crucify.
Was that over?
Why? Why did that particular line bother you?
I mean, well, just want to prove something. I just want to
Did
teach
that
him.
offend you
I just
in
want to
your
teach him
religion?
a lesson.
Did the word offend you in your faith?
This is your 15th time fighting at the MGM Grand. You've had some of your biggest triumphs here and some losses too. Coming back here again for a fight of this magnitude, is it just like any other fight, or is there something special about it being here where so many of these fights have happened?
Sounds like Richard Stern.
Something special because to fight here is at 40 years old, at 40 of age, it's one of a kind. I mean, I've been in boxing more than 2 decades, and until now, still here, keep on fighting. And I really love boxing, and and I'm happy doing this, enjoying, especially during training camp.
And so you get your hand raised on Saturday. Well, when you look to unify the belts, you fight the winner of the Porter Spence fight later on this year.
I'm going to watch that fight. That's a good fight also.
You want to unify?
Oh yeah. Why not? I mean, you can do that.
What do you think?
I will after this fight, I will focus more on training strategies and studying the, it's like boxing is like also like a science. You have to study. Not only studying when you have a scheduled fight, or I'm studying over boxing because I'm planning to, after my career, I'm going to write a book like about boxing, how to prepare, everything.
Manny, when you are at home, do you watch fights? Like when you're not in training camp but you're at home, do you put fights on TV and watch fights a lot?
Yeah, this is a good thing. After my fight, I'll just tell you this. After my fight, like, I don't have no boxing at all. No boxing at all. Like, I didn't go to the gym to train like that. But I work out almost every day, like 4 to 5 hours a day, playing basketball like that.
Did
Do you turn on TV, like where you watch a fight, and next month will you put the TV on and watch a fight that's going on?
Watching the fight, yeah, sometimes I watch the fight. There's a good fight and watch that. But I mean, going to the gym, like training, like that. No backing out. So that's why if I have scheduled fight, then I'm hungry again.
Well, I'm curious then, like, so I grew up loving to watch Muhammad Ali fight. Like, who do you like to watch just for fun, just because you're a boxing fan? What fighter in the past or a current fighter have you enjoyed watching?
You know, since 10 years old, I've been watching fights until now. I saw like I don't know how many boxers I watched even before, way back in the 1990s. If you ask me, I watched Oscar De La Hoya even starting in Olympics. I watched Roy Jones from Olympics to until to become a champion. Roy Jones, watching Tyson, George Foreman, Bramble, Whitaker. I watched that, and then the heavyweights before. The heavyweights is so big. Right before the heavyweights was so big before at the time of Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes.
Riddick Bowe was one of you guys?
Yeah, Riddick Bowe, like defense like that. Riddick Bowe, you know that like this. Riddick Bowe. I saw that Julio Cesar Chavez, Obakar. I saw that.
Anyone your favorite?
Two brothers, Rafael Ruelas and Gabriel and Rafael. I saw many fights. That's how I love boxing.
Your son that's starting to box, have you watched any of your fights with him? Is he interested in your career?
This funny thing of my son. Okay. Every time I go to this room, every time I always saw him watching boxing match. My fights, he play over and over. A couple fights like that. He's always watching boxing. And I remember when I was young, I saw a lot of, like I have beaches, like before beaches, right? Beaches, like dozen of beaches for fights.
You were a tape collector then?
Yeah, yes.
So what's your son's favorite fight of yours?
I saw him, he's always watching Margarito fight, Cotto fight, Hatton fight, De La Hoya fight. So that sometimes Morales fight.
What was your favorite fight of yours?
Not only one, I have a lot. I like but the good thing is my favorite is De La Hoya. Because De La Hoya is my inspiration in boxing when I start boxing. Even though I beat him, but I still look up to him because he's a good fighter.
Freddie said when you came into his gym, you showed him the fights of you getting knocked out. What was the mindset behind that? Showing him your losses when you wanted him to train you?
Yeah, it's just to learn, to learn what we need to improve in style, footwork, training.
And who do you think will win the Spence Porter fight?
Spence Porter fight. I think Spence has an advantage. Spence has an advantage, but it depends how Porter to prepare for the fight. Porter has also a good chance for Spence. It depends how they prepare. That's my
Man, you said that you don't really watch too many fights at home, but at Spence's last fight, you were sitting ringside. Was that a fight that you were eyeing before the Thurman fight was on the table, or were you just there as a spectator and as a fan?
I was able to just to watch the. I believe that is. I know that's gonna be a good fight.
Okay.
He was invited.
I was invited, and also
Jerry Jones invited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jerry's a big fan.
Well, what was that like for you sitting ringside watching there, given that you had fought there before? I mean, you're the first ever to hold a boxing match there, brought out tens of thousands of people. Did you get any flashbacks being there in March?
Oh yeah, I when I was there, I remember the Margarito fight and Cloty fight.
When you first moved to welterweight, there were fights that were contractually obligated for lower than 147. There was the 145-pound weight for Cotto, I think. Do you not do that anymore because you feel you're a full-fledged welterweight, or do you just feel like you don't need that extra advantage against these guys?
145, 140.
The catch weights.
The catch weights. Like there's no catch weights with these fights anymore. Well, why did you move away from that?
Well, that's the way that they want to fight, but I can move 140.
You could still make 140 right now if there's a big enough fight there.
Yeah. Because from 135 to 147 is big.
Yeah, when he fought De La Hoya, what'd you weigh, 42 when he was 47?
142.
Oscar was low.
He was 145.
He was 45. But there was no catch weight.
No, that just came in.
So you expect to come in about 142 this time around?
142.
140.
What do you expect to weigh?
For this fight?
I need to weigh like 146, 147.
46, 47.
Because it's gonna be disadvantage for me if you have to.
Freddie, what will you weigh?
What fight? You said that you can still
How about
make
you, Fred?
140. Obviously, your last several fights have been at
I have only one fight in 140. The Dazn fight.
Right. I was going to ask you, Senator, what fighter would intrigue you to go back down to 140? Do you see a fighter at 35 maybe that could go to 40, or a fighter that's currently at 140 that would intrigue you to go down?
If there's a fighter who wants to fight in 140, then why not?
Anybody in particular? Maybe Vasyl Lomachenko?
I don't know.
What's the lowest you think you could go? Is 140 the lowest?
135. But
You can make 135?
a little bit reduce of that. But 140 is okay.
Right now, probably 40s.
Guys, we good?
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Sit right there.
So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.